Hi, everyone. I'm Cesar McDowell, professor of the practice of civic design at the Department of Urban Studies and Planning at MIT. And I want to talk to you a little bit about racist power structures. I want to give a very simple way of thinking about it. We can think about someone having, or institutions having power over people in three ways. One, in what they can physically do. Two, over what it is they can think about. And the third is really control over their imagination and possibility. So that is what, in some sense, racist power structures are. It is the effort by one group to hold another group back based on racial characteristics and to apply these three forms of power to them. Now, I want to give an example of how this actually works in our society and in the area that I'm most interested in, which is how do we think about democracy and how do we think about civic health in a society. If you look at America, democracy, what you'll notice is that we are using systems that were actually designed based on what colonial powers thought made sense. When our society was first set up, our American Constitution and stuff, we designed it to work for a certain set of people. Mostly that was landowners who were men, and everyone else was left out of the process. And over time, we've continued to try to make little marginal steps to increase who has access. And so what we need to be doing, and what my work is really about, is how do we start to design new civic processes that actually do that? And at the core of that work for me is really rethinking what we mean by democracy and community. This shows up also very clearly in our research practices. Because it is part of that same system, being part of the university, and the ways in which we actually look at and think about research. And so I want to give you two things that you can actually do and pay attention to start to undo this. One is paying attention to funding. My work is mostly with community groups. And so when I work with them, what I try to do is make sure that if there's funding coming in to support work in the community, that the foundations or whoever's giving that money give it directly to the community so they have their own resource and power and control over their money. The other is around intellectual property and the rights to the information that is gathered through research. Traditionally, it goes to the PI or the researcher. And what we need to start doing is creating models where that is either shared or it completely belongs to the community who licenses it back to us as researchers to use. So those are two ways you can think about engaging and reworking racist power structures in your research.